Alright, guys. So, as you can see, we got Adolfo Indacochea in the house. And the
Indacochea.
homeboys, Dario Garcia, Arturo Garcia.
Hey.
They're not brothers.
No, not related.
They're
Not
not the
related.
Garcia
Second
brothers. No.
No,
We're cousins, yes we are.
Garcia squared. No?
Right.
Alright. So, let's just go right into it. Just to get the conversation started.
Let's see.
Let's go. Recent past and present. What are you doing, Adolfo?
Dancing.
You-
Dancing all day, man.
I could see that. I could see
Well, I would say like with the pandemic, everything
Correct.
changed big time. Now I'm located in New York City,
Mhm.
so it was a big change from Europe to New York. Something that it was in the back of my mind all the time, but
Mhm.
never really fall for it.
Mhm.
But the pandemic, let's say, kind of forced me, but in a good way. I never felt like I felt like it was the right decision, even that it was with the pandemic. It felt very, very comfortable.
Mhm.
And then at the beginning of the pandemic, I was staying also with my best friend Marcus Nieves. So it was fun because we always say we should live together once, like.
Oh, that's so funny.
We never got to live together. Now we got to live together like for 5 months, in the same house in his place and everything. So it
He's
was
a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
I took his class at Mamboland.
Yeah, he's freaking awesome.
I was
Yes.
like, this awesome. This guy looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, exactly. People just
Like a
scared.
monster, dog.
Yeah, that's the only thing. People is only scared of him,
Yeah.
But he's very cool. He's like a big bear. And with that, I started with Mambo Virtual.
Yeah.
That I was. I think we were the.
Was that at the start of the pandemic?
Yeah. Actually, that was right after my last gig in Vegas. That I think was March 13th or 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Like a couple of weeks after I came here. I came here in February, right? Or January?
Was it?
I think it was February.
Or March? No, it was February.
February. And then, I was in Vegas last weekend, and then, I remember Trump and saying that, 2 weeks to slow the spread, whatever,
Yeah.
And at that moment I was like, okay, it's not gonna slow down, and I saw everybody all over the world, all you see was free lessons everywhere, man. We decided to do a free lesson for people in their house, and I thought it was a great idea, but at the same time I was like, well, all these people, if they work, if there's a job, it's a problem, because if everybody's doing it for free, And I understand the situation, but I saw that could have been an issue, and that's when I decided to go online as well. But I was like, listen, you know what, I'm gonna charge, and if it works well, if it doesn't work,
it makes sense. I mean, put your time in to do something, and you charge people for that time.
Exactly, but I saw everybody, of course, with all due respect of everybody that uses those platforms, using Zoom or Facebook or private groups on Instagram, Venmo this to me, PayPal me, I send you an email. It's kind of like
it's. That makes it complicated.
And I don't know, it's like,
I mean, I've done it. I paid people like that to take their classes.
I know, but
it feels weird.
At the same time, I always like to put myself at high standards. I always live a quality over quantity, and that didn't look very high end. Send me your receipt in WhatsApp, and I give you access to the Zoom.
Right.
So I was like, let me do this the right way, and. It took some time.
There's also lots of platforms online that you don't need to be like a techie to
I mean, but you have to pay though.
You do have to pay.
Yeah, that's the main thing. We're still in the salsa scene is still. I'm telling you, from promoters' point of view, from dancers, from everybody, is still kind of like a version of, if I can avoid paid, if I can avoid pay taxes, if I can avoid expenses, if I can avoid,
like contract.
Yeah, can you sign a 1099? Oh, what is that? So I think well, I'm serious, man. It's we need to step up a little bit, and that's always been my thing. Try to do things a little bit, a better way,
Yeah.
more sustainable.
Correct.
More sustainable. And
It's like it's also trackable too, because if you're doing all this stuff, you know, it's like
Yeah,
I feel
the
like
thing
it
is
gets
that-
out of hand.
Yeah, if you get 10, 15, 20 students, it's fine. But what if, you know, let's say you do a good job and you get 200 students? How do you manage that?
I don't know.
It's so, you know, it worked. And until now it's at Mambo Virtual Academy is still on, still, you know,
Yeah.
strong. So it's still going on.
But
But now
those-
it's streaming for my school.
I remember you told me one time that like when by going online you're able to access more students from around the world, right? Was that like a need that was like, you know, people were knocking on your door asking you to do this before the pandemic? Or was that something that the pandemic just kind of pushed you to do it sooner than later?
There was a lot of people that wanted to do online before
Right.
with me, like privates or classes. Oh, you know, like, can you stream? Can you send me a lesson?
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'm planning to do it because I always wanted to do it.
Right.
But, you know, I
Never got around to it.
you know, I never pushed myself because,
Yeah.
you know, like nobody thought that you could do salsa lessons online virtually.
Right.
You know, it was there was a Nate I remember from Vegas. He had salsa bachata online, and at the beginning went pretty well. Then also Rudy with Alan Tosh, I believe they have also their online videos, but and they did pretty well, and they still do pretty well, I'm sure. But you know, most people was all about recording videos. You know, like,
Right.
there was no live stream. There was no like at that moment. You know, like and you know, like that's the only thing they did. I got the time now. You know, I sat in my computer for like 2-3 days straight. Found a good streaming service and you know, went for it. I was like, listen, you know what? I'm gonna put it out there. I remember I did a free class, but they have to sign up with email and all that. I got like, I think 4,000 people signing up for the free class.
Got you, bitches.
Yeah. And then
I'm gonna send you a
and then of course,
promotion.
exactly. Then I sent them the promo, right?
Send you that $30
Yes.
a month, dog.
I-
$4,000.
I sent them the promo like the next day after the class, and I woke up and I had, you know, like 70 to something subscribers the first day. I was like,
Awesome.
okay, let's, you know, let's start, you know. And I got my team, of course, you know, Tanya was
Yeah.
on board, Lorenita, Neris, everybody was on board with me.
Oh yeah, who is the gang? Because I know you got a bunch of people
In
on there.
when the original NBA was Tanya, Amneris, Lorenita, and myself. That was the original NBA gang, you know,
Okay.
when we started.
Now you have like a lot more people.
Yeah,
right?
well,
'Cause-
now it's basically everybody that teaches Empire Salsa. So I have Natasha, I have Charlie, I have Brianna, Angel, Steffi, myself, and
Who's that Mexican guy?
So
Christian,
no, Christian. He's not
Cristian.
the
Mexican.
Peruvian. He's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
He's so talented.
Bro, that guy's
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, I know. I want to bring him to the States.
Dude,
He's in Mexico right now.
good.
Yeah,
he's really
Yeah,
good.
he's like going around Mexico.
He's been my boy for many years, you know, like and you know, I'm pushing him, and then when I talk about NBA, you know, he was so excited, and you know, raw talent, man. He's so talented. I just have to find a way to bring him here.
Yeah.
And then you know, he'll be a big shot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really close to the border here.
Yeah, well,
I know
he's
it.
in Mexico, right? You know anybody that can, you know, put him in a truck or something. You know?
Yeah.
Hey,
I
so-
think you know that guy.
So was that
That's with the
always
Garcias. Okay.
your?
Garcia's business.
Garcia, bro.
We focus on that bit later. So was that always your idea, like your goal to bring other artists to NBA? Like,
I think it has been my idea since Mamboland. The whole
Okay.
concept is it has never been about me, about myself. Like you know, I believe that I have something good to give to the community, and you know, I believe people follow me and my dance skills, my dance style, whatever. But I don't believe I'm the only one. I'm able to do it by myself because. You know, like in this room, maybe, you know, you think, I don't know, Michael Font's the best dancer in the world. Maybe Steve thinks it's Franklin Diaz. And then maybe Dario thinks it's myself. And then maybe Yuki thinks it's somebody else that we don't even know. You know, like,
Yeah.
Who do you think it is?
I
wanna know.
my
All
masters,
right.
always.
Who do you watch?
Yeah, so I watch a lot of Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, Eddie Torres.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
But I believe that we need to give different styles, different quality, and you know, I'm sure that I'm able to reach more people having a support from a strong team.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so that's how I see it. You know, like there's some things that Tanya can do that I would never be able to do, and the same thing that Tanya
A lot
does.
of us,
Yeah.
So you know, I think we complement. I always try to put somebody from each thing that I believe it's
Okay.
is the right way to do that. The same thing is happening at Empire, right? We have a different style, a different teacher for to do a 360 of you know an environment that you can learn and train.
Okay. Cool.
Tell us a little bit more about Mamboland. What's going to be happening with that?
Well, Mamboland now, hopefully I'm gonna be able to get the official letter from the hotel because as you can see in Italy, the things are a bit, you know,
are they a lot more
customer
closed
service.
down?
Customer service is like non-existent. In, you know, like you call for for your phone, it's like oops, oops, I'm sorry.
Is that not
I don't
like an
speak
Italian
English.
custom?
Yeah, I don't. Italy has terrible customer service. Like has great food though.
Yeah.
Great food, but customer service is really bad. You know, and we're trying to get the official letter from the hotel because they're gonna, of course, respect all the reservations from the hotel and all that, but they are going under renovations all 2022, so they won't be able to. They gave us a date last year, but I think they just gave us a date just to give us something, and now
Okay, gotcha.
they wrote my partner saying that they are going under reconstruction, like some upgrades, so they won't be holding events next year. So they're gonna give us the date on 2023. So
wow.
so we're gonna have to wait 1 year. Yeah.
All right.
But you know, in a way, honestly, I believe it's the best thing because we're November, and still there's no official decree or nothing that says that guarantees that event.
Yeah.
That I could have an event of 1,000 people inside a hotel.
Right.
So it was actually kind of stressful because you know you want to tell people yeah it's happening, but at the same time, my partners were thinking about like we should just go straight and start selling tickets, and I was like no, because until I don't have a 100% something official that says that events can happen inside the hotels. Now winter is gonna come in Europe. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You saw Croatia already. The rate went up. I think more than 50%. No, Poland, more than 50% of
Yeah.
Wow.
of people getting COVID. So we don't know what's gonna happen in winter. So actually, in a way, I'm more relaxed that gonna have to wait 1 year. I wouldn't want to sell tickets and they say in January, oh,
Right.
you know what? I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. So most likely gonna do it one more time in Milano, and then my idea will be bring it to the States. So
Nice.
When I went to Mamboland last time,
Yeah.
you told a story about when you fell, and I want to hear it again.
when I fell,
You fell, and then you got off the stage, and I think someone congratulated you.
oh yeah.
I want to hear the full story.
No, I
It was super
didn't fully,
interesting.
I didn't fully fell, but I almost like bust my ass. Like, it was kind of like you could see it. Like oh, you could hear the people. They show. But it went well, and I came out, and I remember when I said, you guys kill it, motherfucker. But that's the moment I told myself, if I don't see a show, because most of our fellow artists, they come, oh, how was it, And the natural answer that you have is like, oh, it was good. Oh, do you see that? Oh, no, you're gonna see that. Because it's something natural. Instead of you don't see people like telling you, oh no, listen, I didn't see a show. I'm sorry. And so now when they come, oh, listen, I was backstage. I didn't see a show. I was concentrating on my shit. Yeah. And sometimes they get offended. How you didn't film? How did you see my show? I'm like, but I'd rather
I got
be
my
honest.
own life too, though.
Yeah. I'd rather not. And honestly, I don't like when people ask me how was the show because I have. It's not a smart mouth, but I just normally real when it comes to dance. Like my chip changes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very straightforward, and sometimes people don't like what I have to say. So yeah.
So stop asking me.
Yeah. So when they tell me, oh, Adolfo, what do you think? Can you give me some? Are you sure?
It's like, fire.
Please, come on. Can we talk about soccer?
Right.
Huh?
I'm like,
Yeah, let's switch to something soccer.
Yeah.
No, and you also told a story about Mitch. What's Mitch's last name?
Mitch,
Segon.
Segon?
I always got a problem with his last
Yeah.
name. Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned him at Mamboland, and he's
he
actually
was,
a buddy of mine that lives in
Yeah,
Austin.
Mitch was the original Mambo. It was Mambo Magic, the team that had
Here in San Antonio?
in San Antonio. Yes, I think it was
In
Mambo
San
Magic.
Antonio?
Yeah, because I first came to San Antonio with.
Oh yeah.
I was with Lee. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the first time teaching on two. His studio that nobody does on two here, and we have those a few warriors like Mitch that was all into on two.
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
He's still warrior.
yeah.
He's still kicking
we start also with Isaac.
Isaac,
Yes, and
Isaac.
He comes to the socials.
Isaac.
He wears a beanie.
Yeah, you know him for sure. Yeah,
I know him
I
because
have
the
to
first
know.
time I met him, the first thing he said,
Oh,
I used to dance with
Isaac.
Adolfo. I was like, what? He's like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about, man? He's like, I just met you.
and
Yeah, I know who he is now.
Danielle White, and then who else was Mexican lady?
Still here?
No. She moved. I forget. I forgot her name. I don't remember her name right now. But well, anyway, we did our mambo team.
Mm-hmm.
We start training. We have a little routine and stuff, and it was fun. So he was one of the original members.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, always supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I just thought it was really funny you mentioned him by name.
Yeah.
Mumble. I'm like,
And then I have
Mitch.
I have a Texas also like Ike, Dr. Ike. You know Ike, right?
Dr.
From
Ike.
Houston.
Dr. Ike's, the store? Or
Yeah,
what?
no, Ike. It's a social dancer. Well, he was.
It's
back,
a store.
He was back in the
lingerie
day.
store? No.
Back in the day, yeah.
The Mexican
There's-
store?
Houston scene was huge. Well,
Yeah,
you guys weren't dancing yet, but
Yeah.
Houston scene was like.
Houston scene is probably one of the
Well,
bigger scenes
Solomon
still.
is like is the man.
Yeah.
He's an
Partner work,
OG.
it's yeah.
What was this class called? He has a special name for that.
Crazy
class.
term
Yeah,
patterns,
yeah.
yeah.
He's taught that one.
So
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah, I remember. So also there was this Mexican guy too, very talented.
Adolfo, when you moved to the States, and did you know how big the salsa scene was in Houston? What made you decide to come
No,
to San
actually, I came to Texas because the scene in Texas was huge.
Really?
I remember that roof sky in there was a sky bar in
Sky bar.
Houston. There used to be a salsa night. I think every Thursday or Tuesday. I don't remember. Texas was huge with salsa, and I met Lee, Israel, Solomon, Jessica with Angel and Jessica.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Angel and
Jessica.
Jessica. So that's why I came here to Texas because
Wow.
I wanted to learn from them.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn. Robert, he used to dance with Lee. I don't know if you guys remember Robert. He moved to Dallas then. He's that guy with double joint arms.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He has double joint both shoulders, so he would do this freaking turn patterns like
Jesus.
yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So you came to Texas for higher learning in
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah.
And then you quickly learned you got to go to New York for the best. Right?
Exactly. I always wanted to dance with Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So, what was the moment that made you realize that you saw him perform, or?
oh yeah, I went 2001 or 2002, I believe was my first New York Congress when I was living still in Mexico, and I saw Juan Matos dancing with Fogarate with that thing was crazy because I remember Jessica Ortiz, Burju, Victor, Carlitos, Juan. It was nasty. The team was nasty, like very very nice.
Were those the Eddie Torres dancers?
No, those were Juan Matos and Fogarate. That was the
Fogarate.
company of Juan.
Okay.
Right, and then I saw Frankie too, doing I think it was Hong Kong Mambo. No, one of those kind of Asian.
Oh, I love that song.
Yes,
Yeah.
like tunes that Frankie used to do. Very cool, but very talented. I like him a lot too. Juan, like Juan's team, like hit me a little bit more because of the style and the strength that they had when they dance. The flow, right? Very Juan. And then Eddie Torres dancer came in doing Palante. I remember it was Eric Nadia, Marcus with Melissa, and Joshua with Carolina. And I remember that I freaking love the show they were doing Palanta, and that was actually the first number I did with Eddie too.
And you saw this on television?
No, I was over there in New York Congress,
Okay.
but I didn't know how to dance on two. I was dancing on one.
Oh, okay.
So I taught myself during the Congress how to dance on two. And I saw the tourist dancers, and I was like, wow, that's the style that I want to do, right? And then as soon as they finished, Eddie came in with Maria. I remember he had this freaking orange shirt. He was darker than Michael Fons. He was like super tan. He has a super tan. I came and doing Paloma. And I remember that, you know, like I felt very emotional. I was like, you know, almost crying, you know, like watching him dance. And, you know, that's when in that moment I was like, I want to dance for him once, you know, maybe in 10 years from now. And 6 months after I was dancing. Yeah. Yeah.
Never mind.
What? Never mind. 10 years went too quick.
All right. So you went there, and then why Italy? How'd you end up there? So, because you didn't know Italian either, right?
No. I was in New York, and then when I was with Eddie, you know, people started like calling me to teach here or there, and then I started flying to Europe with Melissa. And I remember that we start getting gigs over there. So out of the month, I was having like 2-3 weekends in Europe and one in the States, or 2 and 2. And then in a moment, I saw that I was doing my regular job. I was purchasing assistant at the moment at a nursing home. Mm-hmm. And I remember they had like 6 months ahead booked in Europe. And I had a very good chance to grow in my regular job. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like steady, you know, benefits and, you know, full-time contract, everything. And I was like, what should I do? You know, my career or dance, you know? But, you know, I decided for dance. I think I decided well. I had like 6 months ahead all booked in Europe.
Gotcha.
So that was when I was like, okay, you know, now it's my chance to do it. So I promised myself that I had to be booked 3 months in advance, always to be steady, to have like you know, security, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided to move to Europe, because there were a lot of places in Europe that I could add to the weekends, like small congresses that I could probably go one day and, you know, make some extra money, but they would have the budget to pay me, but they wouldn't have the budget to pay flights from New York plus hotel plus all that. So being in Europe, it would be much easier.
More convenient for making money because you can go to multiple congresses a weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they could pay you from Milano. You know, in Europe, flights are very cheap. Okay. So they could pay $100 to $100 ticket, but they could not pay $600-700 per person from the States, plus hotel, plus fee, plus everything. You know.
Yeah.
Is that still the case? Well, not right now.
Well,
now,
now,
like, not right now, but like, I guess when stuff was like before the pandemic.
Yeah, before the pandemic, yes. I mean, actually, before the pandemic, it was funny because I was coming a lot to the States. I was basically half here, half over there, because, you know, I was doing at least 1 to 2 events here in the States. So I think in the States for a while, I would say since 2007 to 2012, 13. It got very local here in the States, meaning that, you know, you wouldn't see artists from overseas. Mostly you see once in a while. Then, you know, the past 4 or 5 years, you've been seeing a lot more the influence from Europe in here. The same way that in those years, from 2004 to 2012, 13, everybody from the States was going to Europe. Then what happened, the Europeans got very good. You know,
like that was my next question.
Yeah,
I feel like, because I went over there to dance. I've gone over there a couple times, and it's like, I feel like the scene is like strong.
It's very strong, yes.
Like even just general dancing, I'm like, God, these people are good.
The thing is that
it's very rare that I get a bad dance.
For me, the strongest scene in the world is Italy, for sure. But, you know, people like to mislead what I say. And, oh, you know, he's saying that in New York it's not the best. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in average, the strongest scene is in Italy. Why? If you come to New York, if you dance on two, the strongest scene in the world is on two in New York. On two dancing in New York City. If you go on one, I don't even know if LA now. On one, probably I would say Italy. You know, like kind of where Fernando, Johnny are, Milano. You know, but what I'm trying to say is that in Italy, you go to anywhere and you put a timba, they know how to dance timba. You put a rumba, they dance rumba. You put on one, they dance on one. They put on two, Puerto Rico. They most dancers there, like my dancers have been studying before coming to me. They knew Puerto Rico, they knew timba, they knew Afro, they knew rumba because they have that basis very strong. So that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about the strongest scene, because they are prepared in everything. Whatever you put them, they know how to do it. They have an idea. They have trained with that because normally people, when they're kids over there, they start with Cuban dancing. There's a lot of Cuban, so rumba and song and timba is very common.
It's like an Italian thing to do.
Yeah, I mean,
put them in like Cuban dancing.
That it is in Italy. There's something that is great and bad at the same time. It's called they have federations of sport dancing, and those are Latin American dances, and they are trained since they are kids, 6, 7 years old.
A lot of them.
A lot. Like a lot. Like it's big competition all over Italy, and they do, they do all that. Caribbeans and Latin dances, salsa, all that, and most of them train on 1, on 2, rumba, Afro. So it's a big thing.
Oh wow!
Like
I didn't realize that.
If you go to South Italy, all South Italy is all Cuban dancing. So you put a song from La Fania, they don't even stand up to dance. You put Los Bambang, and it's like you bring Los Bambang to concert, and you're talking about 5,000-10,000 people that come to see the concerts.
Wow.
We have Cuban orchestras all the time, so salsa is huge in Italy. It's huge. Yeah.
Because I was like looking at some of the little kids that go to Fernando's school, and I'm like, shit, this kid's fire.
Yeah, but the things that you see them there, you don't see what they've been training since they're like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah. It's funny because they look like little versions of like the older Italian. They're all they all look very similar.
Yeah.
they have like a look.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The strongest scene, I believe, is over there also because of the way that they study.
So do you think it's like a mentality thing? Like when you compare them to the Italians, so let's say like Latinos, like why is there more Italians dancing at a higher level than Latinos? Like, is it a mentality that we have? Like,
I think I always gonna say it's a very delicate subject because Latinos have the flavor, right? And then, but I've seen Italians, they have their own flavor too. They don't have the flavor that like we do, but they have their their personality when they dance, right? And I believe, of course, Latinos will always one step ahead in the fact of Latinos. If you have grown around Latinos, right? Like for example, I was born and raised in Peru, so I was around salsa every freaking day, like in the bus, in the market, in wherever you go, everything was salsa, right?
Yeah.
So you grow with that. A Latino born in Germany won't have.
Right.
That is because it's life experience, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, most Latinos have an advantage. But if you don't put like anything in life, right? If you don't put the work into it, into the talent, after a while, somebody that put 10 times more work than you, it's gonna dance better. And then, depending on where in Latin America you come in, the mindset or, discipline, we're already in a level that it's not anymore street dancing and now you need to have the discipline, go rehearse, and we see that even now with already dancers develop professional dancers. They always have excuses to not train, or there were always excuses for not succeed, or excuses for not being able to be somebody, or blaming everybody else but themselves. About how they don't get the opportunity, right? And it's just discipline and hard work. That's all it is.
Adolfo, speaking of training, I'm curious to know like what your expectations were when you first got invited to train with editors, and compared to what it actually was to train with editors. Like, did you have a mindset?
Yeah, I thought it was like going to to a professional soccer team. Uniform,
suit, Madrid.
And then on our rehearsals at 11:30 at night, I was like, okay,
damn,
and where is Eddie? No, he sometimes comes. That's we rehearse and but it's different generations. It's different. But now, like I said, now if you have a team and you don't train, you're done. Before you could get away with 1 hour a week, you know, the routine. Now you cannot do that. Yeah. It's different.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the old videos, like the old Eddie Torres videos. I'm like, these videos look a lot different than now. It's like they're not as clean. You know, like the whole team. And it was like, you know, a bunch of different people that I look up to, like Franklin Diaz, Frank Martinez on the team. I'm like, they don't look as refined as the teams now.
Yeah, but I believe that the mentality of teams have changed a lot. I think I would say that the ones that have shaped the most the scene now regarding teams is Jamule, Tropical Jam, and Latin Soul. So, you know, I believe the three, you know, like Osmar, Fernando, myself, have a very in different ways the same mentality about, you know, training and, you know, discipline. And I think you can see that, you know. I haven't seen, honestly, besides those three teams, there's other teams that go up and down, and, you know, with all due respect, but I believe those are the three that definitely are leading the scene right now, you know.
Who runs that Agua company? I love watching them. I was over there by, like, with Antonio.
Antonio Jasmine, yes.
Antonio. No, they have another kid, though, that he won, like, the...
Oh, yeah. That you're talking about the Thing guy.
The Thing guy, yeah. And he does,
I forgot his name.
He does, like, solo
Shine. The one that you
Yeah.
sent me?
Yeah.
With a long hair, with a ponytail.
Their team is really clean.
Yeah.
And also full projects really
For example, Antonio Yasmina come from the competition world. They are from the Dance Federation of Italy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's why it looked like that. Damn, you've been doing this a minute.
Yeah. They were one of the first couples to kind of do both the social salsa, like our world congresses, all that, and do the competition world. Simone Serena, probably you've seen them too. They too also are those couples that come from Dance Federation and into now the salsa community.
Gotcha. Do you miss anything about Italy that's different in your?
Of course, I miss my friends and my dancers and the food, of course. Yeah.
Food and wine, right?
Yes, I miss a lot because you know, now in New York have a great team, you know, great group of people, but it's different because my mindset have to like compromise a little bit because all of them are already are dancers already.
Yeah.
They have run with their styles of training and behaviors and all that, and it's not that it's bad or good, but it's just not my preference sometimes. So I have to kind of like deal with some personalities or whatever, you know, because it's different than when you have your team. Like I always grow my team, you know.
Yeah.
I grow them into a professional level, so you know I wouldn't have to say anything. They know how they have to behave. They know how they have to act. They know how they have to come to rehearsal or not. How they behave at a weekend. What do I need? What I don't need.
Like expectations are set.
Yeah, I mean it's just they know how it's like. When you're part of a family, you know how your family, how your father is. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you go to a place where you know everybody's already, you know, like is already a dancer, they have been training in other places. Then you know, like that's where you clash a little bit because it's different mentalities, you know. That's all. But so I miss that. I miss my having also my students from the beginning into dances. It was a lot time invested, and
what were the two guys that danced with you?
Sharama and Davide, yeah, Sharam and Davide. Those are their names.
Yeah, the ones that came to mamboland on top.
Oh no, that was Marco and Fabricio. Marco Fabricio, yes.
How long did they train with you?
Fabricio was with me like 5 years, I believe, but he been training under one of my dancers. For another 5-7 years because he came to me when he was like 12 years old. He took a private with me, and
wow.
I was in South Italy and I was moving to Milano, and he wanted to dance with me, and I was like, you know, now I'm moving to the north, so you can stay here with Michele and train with him, and then when you finish school, you can come and dance with me. I'll have you dance with me when. And his scope in life was finishing school to come dance with me in Milan, and that's what he did. He finished school, and he moved to Milano to dance with me for a few years. So, but you know, so he was training under one of my dancers that, I will go there every month. So, basically training also under me for a while. And then Marco, he danced with me like for 8 years. Yeah. And, he's a great story because nobody thought he was going to be able to dance with me because he was very like, styling wise, he was horrible,
Bro, you made a joke at Mambo, and you're like, dude, this guy couldn't even walk.
I mean, I'm serious. I was worried. But he made it, and he was my right hand for many years.
You saw something in him, right?
Yeah, I mean the dedication, the hard work. Like I always told him, like the day you stop dancing, we might have to kill you. Too many secrets. Like so, and we still. He actually got a tattoo of LSD in his arm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great people. Most of it great people, but the things that sometimes you need to go through. Have dancers that last for one day, dancers that last for a few months, weeks, dancers that never got to perform.
Right.
Dancers that tells you, oh, yeah, you're the one and only, and then next day, there's someplace else. But the things that you need to try, and sometimes you need to let them go. Sometimes you just need to shut up and okay, bye. It's hard because everybody feels entitled to give an opinion or to tell you how things should be wrong or not when they don't have the experience at all. That
right,
it's kind of insulting, right?
Yeah.
After you have like 15, 17 years of a team. And you never had a team.
You ain't doing this right, Adolfo.
And you want to give me advice. And when I just don't say nothing. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to the morning, I expect coffee, dog.
Yeah, I think you should get some drinks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you really want some drink?
Oh no, I was joking.
Okay.
Why'd you go bald?
Oh, I don't like gray hairs.
Oh, okay.
And you see, I have a lot of gray hairs, and
I thought I had one.
So you just went for it?
Yeah, and then Fernando had that look too, so we were like come on, let's do the.
Yeah, I thought that was so fun. I'm like, both of them.
Let's do that. Let's do that look,
Because you have a full head of hair, so I'm like, why do you go bald?
Yeah, I mean, it was sexy. Come on. Yeah. When you shave, make bald look. When you shave your head, it's like touch your head.
Yeah.
Did you gotta keep shaving
that was
it
my
though?
mojo,
you gotta put more oomph in the dance when you're bald,
Yeah. It's good.
Lessons learned about performing. I guess presentation or being entertaining over perfection. Maybe something you could talk emphasize a little bit more about.
I think the first thing it's respect for stage, no matter where you perform, either it's a small room or a huge stage. Always be aware that you're dancing for somebody and that you're on stage, and you have to respect that. Because that's where stupid mistakes happen when you don't think about that, and you have to show the same respect, regardless where you are, regardless of pace, and also that I was telling this to my amateur team the other day. The only thing that is warranted sooner or later is that you're gonna mess up. That. Yeah. I was telling them, because I was going to San Francisco with us, right? Yeah. I was like, listen, most likely, you guys, one of you gonna fuck it up. What do you mean? Well, that's the only thing that is for sure. Sooner or later, whenever I walk on stage, it's always let's hope it's not today. Because you never know, it can happen. Right. So that is the only thing that you cannot avoid. But if you are well trained, if you rehearse and you put your work into those 3 minutes you're doing, you're gonna be able to recover quick, and not everybody is able to recover quick.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that with years I learned how to develop a average. That for me, I always tell my dancers that our average needs to be higher than everybody else's top. That's why my team or myself always perform at a high level, because I always got them used to our average level of if we are tired or whatever, it needs to be better than anybody else's top. level.
Okay.
So even we're from a long trip or whatever, we have to go on stage. The level, so the standard is always very, very high.
Oh,
It's we train to be the best. We don't train
Right.
to be the and.
So like your worst performance is still more top level than most teams.
Yes.
And if we're lucky, we get a badass performance.
Exactly.
Like super top level. Out
Exactly.
Of this.
Yeah. Sometimes
Okay.
the things that you need to be true to yourself. Like no, that doesn't happen all the time. Like you cannot every single time have the performance of your life. And sometimes in the places that you say, okay, now here we have to freaking kill it. We're gonna have like full house and like 5,000 people. We need to dance, and then you dance and you didn't feel like you go very well. Then you see in the video, it went great, but still you didn't feel that. So sometimes you are in that zone, and sometimes you're not.
Gotcha.
Sometimes happened to a couple of times that we our dancing. Okay, let's get a shot before the show, and you get pumped, and you did a super show, and then another time you took a shot before the show, and you feel like DC on stage. So it's like it's never the same. It's never the same. But like it happened that moment. Maybe the energy of people that people don't give you any energy at all during the show. So you feel different. Some places that since you walk on stage, and of course put you in a better situation. Many factors. So that's why you have to have your average performance needs to be like
Gotcha.
top notch.
That's actually really good advice.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. Do you get nervous, or have you gotten nervous before performing?
No, I got
not anymore.
No, I always get my adrenaline kicking, but nervous not. Yeah, no.
You don't vomit before every performance or anything like that?
No, I have a lot of adrenaline.
Okay. Yeah.
Before going on stage,
Nice.
but no, nervous. Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys have anything?
So, do you still take classes? Do you still train with other dancers, other
honestly,
genres?
right now, the past year I haven't, but I normally like to take lessons. This past year, just I would say I wouldn't even say excuse. I honestly like this year I dedicate to a different growth. For myself, and inside what I do with the school and all that. So I took a break from that, and still training a lot. But I took a break from taking lessons.
Okay.
Yeah. When I had the chance, yes, I've taken a couple of lessons in Congress and stuff like that. But now we didn't even have Congresses, so there was much.
That was harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I took a few on Mambo Virtual when I have Teresa or
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I study a lot though, watching. Yeah.
Nice.
Do you know anything about Dogecoin?
What?
Dogecoin?
What is that?
You don't know what Dogecoin is?
No, what is that?
Do you know what Shiba Inu is?
Bitcoin is like
Do you know what Bitcoin is?
Crypto.
Bitcoins. Okay. Yes. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Your English is not very good, man.
You don't know anything about so you don't even know what NFTs are then?
No.
Oh
No.
man. Then we'll skip that conversation. But did you guys have any other questions?
Oh, good.
I think we're good then, man.
We're good.
Thank you for
Thank you so
coming.
much.
Is there anything that you want to shout out?
Nothing. Just thank you for being here. I hope you get a real footage from my orchestra and a mamboland Saturday night. Yes, and so you can fix your story there. Besides that, I appreciate you wanting to interview me, and I'm happy to contribute a little bit here to the salsa scene in San Antonio. I think Darren Duke are doing a great job on developing on two. It seemed at a point kind of like impossible to have a on two scene here.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that. Is to see Yuki spreading everywhere.
Yeah. And thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
It's really humbling.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
All right,
All right, let's go.
Let's go.